Attention.
Hi, this is Pr1ma with Candid CoEd Conversations with me, just Pr1ma. Tune in every Thursday night from 8:30ish to 10ish to see what we have going on. We talk about everything under the sun. Nothing is off limits. And call in 678-661-1819 with questions, comments, and feedback. Looking forward to it. Thanks.
Ay, 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 ay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, you might have seen me down, but you never see me out. Keep it moving, keep it pushing, begging better's what I'm about. I'm not here to play with y'all, I'm just here to lay my route. Never care about wasting time, and I'm not about to start it now. Like it's hot, 1, 2, I'm on go. Y'all can try to keep up, but y'all just slow. See, I'm an open book, tell me what you wanna know. I aim for the most high, down to earth, I'm so low. Now, of course, we can talk if you wanna talk some business. Got a lot to say if you got some time to listen. I'm just being me, and that's already something different. If I try and fail, I try again, I'm on a mission. Despite of what you thought, I do my walking as I talking. I ain't never had to ask her back for nothing. If you wanna know the real, then you come and talk to me. Otherwise, turn your face, don't breathe on my energy. If you think you knew me, you didn't really know it all. I've been through my shared struggles, and I'm still here standing tall. Never the type to fold, if I fall, I wouldn't fear. I'm giving you all of me, this my blood, love, and tears. If you think you knew me, you didn't really know it all. I've been through my shared struggles, and I'm still here standing tall. Never the type to fold, if I fall, I wouldn't fear. I'm giving you all of me, this my blood, love, and tears. Still love to everyone, I know it's crazy these days. They making it black and white, but I'm still seeing the grays. I pray and I keep it moving, not worry about what they doing. My comfort makes them uncomfortable. Enjoy the viewing, like whoa, check the pedigree. Whoa, whoa, I'm just doing me unapologetically. You won't ever see me waste a drop of energy. I mean, even chemically, you couldn't figure out my chemistry. It's crazy, I know. Amazed at how I've grown. You probably wouldn't believe how I did it on my own. We're not always alone, giving credit where it's due. So let me look in the mirror and tell me shout out to you. It's only right that I pop out and do my thing. Till I know self be true, so forget what y'all think. I wanna say I'm sorry, but I'm really not sorry. You might understand more if you knew my story. If you think you knew me, you didn't really know it all. I've been through my shared struggles, and I'm still here standing tall. Never the type to fold, if I fall, I wouldn't fear. I'm giving you all of me, this my blood, love, and tears. If you think you knew me, you didn't really know it all. I've been through my shared struggles, and I'm still here standing tall. Never the type to fold, if I fall, I wouldn't fear. I'm giving you all of me, this my blood, love, and tears.
It is Thursday night. Welcome to Candid CoEd Conversations with just me, Pr1ma. Over there, okay. I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. I was trying to see what I see up here, but okay. Today is July the 11th. I have 2 more days to a special fun night, adult game night. I'm looking forward to that. Yay! You know, I make my own sound effects. We're going to start out, as usual, what is your name? One word to describe how you feel right now and how your week has gone thus far. And I want to say welcome back to Jordan. He's been gone for a while, and we missed you.
Thank you, thank you.
Yay! Welcome back. Welcome back to Rez. He was gone again. Yay!
Right. Help him out.
Yeah, so y'all can start over there. And we do miss Yanni.
Yes, we do.
Oh, she's
My
traveling.
Yanni.
Joey said he's coming, and if he doesn't make it, we miss him too. And Ashley and number 1, so we'll see. No, you can go ahead.
Alrighty. So, my name is Jordan. and I'm feeling rejuvenated because I'm back around my family. I'm feeling, really good. And my week has been long and tiring. It's been very tiring, but we making it, so that's good.
We need some sound effects.
My name is Dominic. My week has been busy.
That's good.
Like, yeah. And I feel I'm happy. I'm happy.
We got another word besides peace. And Yay!
Renee, Renee, Nay.
Okay.
And I'm feeling angered. I'm feeling angered because of what's going on with the presidency, with what Trump is being allowed to do. And I'm gonna talk about my week, but I just want to touch on this just a little bit more about being angry. If Trump think I'm gonna roll over and play dead, he crazy. Cause we're not going back in the Kunta Kinte days. Those days have come and gone.
Right.
So that's how I'm feeling, angered.
Okay.
But my week has been exhausted because I took on trying to help my company. They had a young lady that did something that was out of character. So they called me at 10 o'clock at night asking me if I can step in. So me being the employee, well, I'm a contractor under them, but me trying to help the business has wore me out.
I'm sure.
I'm working. I'm from sun up to sundown. For exception.
Oh, ain't that nice?
But anyway, we got a deal going on.
That's good. We appreciate
We
it.
got a good deal going. So yeah, so that's where I'm at for this week.
Okay. Well, I am Pr1ma, and it is Thursday night. I am on every Thursday night from 8:30ish to 10ish. You can listen on Live 365 app. Download the app. Look for Caribbean Life Radio, and you will hear us. If you want to call in, you can call 678-661-1819. If you'd like to see us, you can look for us on Facebook and on YouTube. Go to Caribbean Life TV, and you will see us from 8:30ish to 10ish. I'm looking at something on my side, on my camera. But anyway, yeah, 678-661-1819. I feel busy. Busy. No, just busy. Busy in my head. A whole lot of busy. Busy, and the busy feels agitated a little bit. Those would be my words together, busy and agitated. But I'm happy. I'm happy to be on the playground. I missed you guys last week.
We missed you too.
Yep.
Yeah, I did send a video out, a short post saying, I had a family emergency and we would not be here, and that was that. Let me think. I'm going to say for the past, I guess when we did the show the last time, 2 weeks ago, on that Saturday, I got a phone call that my dad was not very responsive. So he had to be rushed to the hospital. He had to be intubated, which is where they put a tube down your throat, put you on the ventilators and all that so that it breathes for you. Also had to put a central line in his neck and an arterial line in his arm so they could give him antibiotics and to monitor his heart rate, his blood pressure, and to keep him on blood pressure medicine through the central line. Unfortunately, I am really the only child that that is present and the child that is left making all the decisions. And this is like my third or fourth time around dealing with parents, grandparents. So my past 2 weeks have been a whole lot. I've had 2 children with birthdays, a grandchild with birthday, working, and trying to be fair, trying to contact family members and let them know what's going on, trying to communicate with a father who, thank God, after maybe 4 or 5 days, got him off of sedation, because I was like, I need to have a conversation with him, because, I mean, he told me he wanted this before, but now that we're in this emergency situation, what does he really want, and how do I handle this? And trying to have hard conversations with him and getting him down enough off of the drugs. And the drugs they give you to keep you calm, so you're not snatching stuff out, and you don't know, he doesn't even know he's sedated. And trying to have the tough conversations with him, and crying every day, because you're used to seeing someone so strong, and he's like maybe 6'2", 6'3", and very large, and to see him in a different state, and again having hard conversations with my parents alone, and having to make decisions pretty much alone. I was aggravated with him to a point, because he was avoiding some of the conversations. I'm like, hey, you said you want to be cremated. You still want to be cremated? I don't know if you want to live on a ventilator because the quality of life. So tell me what you want. And he's like, oh, I want a milkshake. Oh, it's how you feeling, or how your brother? You keep changing the subject. And I'm like, Dad, I don't know how long they're gonna keep you off this sedation, or how long they're gonna keep you off this breathing machine. So I need you to talk while you can talk. You get what I'm saying? And you dodging, and you hear the doctors telling you that, oh well, he's a train wreck, because he has congestive heart failure, he has a pacemaker in, he has hernias, he has prostate cancer, he has diabetes, so a train wreck, and what quality of life can he live? And me wanting to do it the way he would want it done, and also not wanting to make a decision in haste, you know what I'm saying? Because you listen to the doctors, and some doctors, when you're dealing with medical professionals, some lie because they think you can't handle it. Some tell you the truth so that you can prepare properly. So I've experienced both ends of the spectrum in these past 2 weeks. Unfortunately, dealing with insurances, they only want to pay for so much. They took him out of ICU, intensive ICU, like 2 days ago, and was like, okay, we're going to monitor him. He needs 4 more days of antibiotics. And then in less than 24 hours, they telling me they're discharging him. And I'm like, well, how you discharging him when you just took him out of intensive ICU? But, you got to get people in these beds. You got to, they got to make more money.
Right.
They said he had bacteria in his blood. His lungs are, like, collapsed. We put him on a BiPAP machine, but we're going to go ahead and discharge him. One doctor says, well, he can't come home because he's not weak enough. He's not strong enough to walk. He can't care for himself or whatever. I'm 140 pounds and he 400 something pounds. So I can't push him and move him around and bathe him properly, or whatever. And they're like, oh, well, we'll send you home health once a week for 1 hour. The hell is that?
Right. That's a miracle for you.
Right. And then he had fallen and went to the rehab facility, and the rehab facility is where he winded up going to the emergency room. Now, the rehab facility, he has been at the hospital since June the 29th, that Saturday. I have not gotten a call from the rehab place yet to tell me that he's at the hospital.
Right.
That they found him unresponsive.
Right.
I ain't got a call yet.
No, you
Not yet. Right. But, but you're supposed to call so that people know where their loved ones are.
You should
I
call them
went
just
to
to ask for more.
I went there. He went on Saturday. I went on Tuesday. I went and got all his stuff out of there. I went and got a Rubbermaid container and carried it out past the nurses station
They ain't say
twice.
nothing.
Got on the elevator from the 4th floor and I went all the way downstairs. This in Buckhead.
Right.
Kaiser supposed to pay for this. Some bullshit. So I walked past the check-in people, administrators outside. Hey, anybody said nothing, and I walked all the way to the car with clothes, shoes, and they still ain't called me.
Right.
Right now, I still ain't got a phone call. So that's been my 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks almost. So I'm frustrated and agitated. We had a funeral, memorial, I would say, for our uncle. The uncle we said passed some weeks ago. So that was interesting. We had a lot of family there, and it was like a family reunion. So that was fun to see family that we haven't seen in a while, and to get together and laugh and drink and talk and play games, and a million kids running around. That was fun in the midst of the storm. So that was enjoyable. So how was y'all's holiday and past 2 weeks since we've missed each other? We're catching up.
That's a good.
Hi.
So I just want to say, I'm still stuck on stupid here with. Hello.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still stuck on stupid with Trump. I just know that I am voting. Because last year I didn't. I mean, the last time. But this time, I'm definitely not going to take my rights for granted. Because I feel like, our freedom is on the ballot. If we don't do anything, if we don't vote, I feel like we're jeopardizing our freedom, is how I really feel. How is it that if he becomes president, that he can, try to implement dictatorship with this country? This is what he is. This is what we're hearing, that this is his plans. So that's all I've been thinking about this week, about how Martin Luther King marched and was killed, for our rights.
And a whole lot of other unnamed. He was just one.
Correct.
The face.
Exactly. Because, little Miss Rosa Parks, I know she was named, but she was still fighting for civil rights. And that is what it's about, civil rights. And that's what I have to start off and speaking on at this present time.
Okay. And Dominique and Jordan, your past 2 weeks, you had fun events. That's why you weren't here. Was it fun or no?
I can't say it was fun. So I did the Copa soccer event, which the first event, it featured Argentina, who has Lionel Messi. I spelled his name all wrong, but that was pretty packed. It was a lot of people out there trying to see him and just take pictures of him. So, I guess that was kind of exciting, getting to see him close and personal. And then the fourth, me and E were playing cards. We bonded over cards. That's just what we do. We have our talks about life, relationships, everything that's going on, politics.
He be setting me up.
No, that's how we bond, over cards. So, that was the highlight of my 2 weeks for me.
And for you?
So for me, my 2 weeks, very happy, to say the least. I can say I am at peace still, and some things has been brought to my attention, which I am grateful for. I'm appreciative of them all, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the nasty. My dad didn't tell me happy birthday still, but it's all good because, it is what it is. Shit, my mama forgot, so I'm just saying.
He probably
So
forgot
in my
too.
mind, I looked at it as God just preparing me mentally for whenever that day come that they're not here. You know what I'm saying? So I looked at that as a blessing at the same time. Like you said, 4th of July was awesome. Yeah, he be suckering me. I ain't gonna lie. So we be playing cards, and sometimes we play drunk Uno, or sometimes we play phase 10, drunk phase 10. So I always win in Uno, right? So he gets mad. I don't want to play Uno. I want to play phase 10. Cause at least he have an opportunity. Yeah, he has an opportunity to win, right? But the thing of it is, he think he's slick because he'll start asking some deep questions that he know I'm gonna be like very, very passionate about and into it. And he be
Try to
like,
get you off.
yeah, try to get me off my game. He be like, yeah. And then all of a sudden he'll spread. I be like, for real? Okay, I caught
That's his
that.
tech.
Yeah, that's
Right,
his
that's his
technique.
tech.
Yeah. But then, sometimes in the middle of the conversation, I turn around and be like, hold on, I gotta make some tuna fish. At that point,
Stop it.
at that point, you like,
Stalling.
yeah, I'm stalling. You know
Right.
what I mean? So when I come back, my technique,
ready,
my
right.
mind is ready. And then, we continue on. But I absolutely have a wonderful time doing that with him and whomever else would like to do that. I do have some friends that's, I meant to tell you, slick jealous of you because
You get all the time.
nah, they've been knowing me for over 15, 20 years and they ain't never been to my house. So, yeah, they feel some type of way and they'll be all right.
Okay.
But I had a wonderful, wonderful time for the 4th. And just like I said, been busy with the students, with the drum line, with the band at Lithia Springs High School. So we doing that. I literally have two full-time jobs, working with them full-time 9 to 5. And then on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I work with Google from 5 to 5.
Okay.
So I don't have time for myself unless I'm in a truck.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I'm happy though. Yeah.
Happy is good. Now we didn't get you, sir, over here. Who are you? How's your week been? How was your past 2 weeks?
Oh, excuse me. I was just sitting there watching. My week has been very long. My past 2 weeks has been extremely long. The way I'm feeling right now is I don't know. So it's kind of hard for me to say. I don't know if I'm going or coming.
Your 4th?
My 4th was the 4th.
I was gonna say also on the 4th, I have an aunt that is very dear to me, and we had a scare because she was having difficulty breathing, and they thought she had stopped. But then we had to call I went to go be with my cousin, and had the nurses and hospice people to come over and put her on oxygen. We was able to put her on oxygen and called all the family over. But a week later today, she is still here.
That's what I'm talking about.
So thank God for that. Thank God for that.
For sure.
Oh, you said, why do we have a baby in the background? So let me tell y'all something. I am Pr1ma, and I love my family, and everybody's invited. So I have a cousin that's here, and my cousin is listening, but she also has a new baby. So the new baby is out there listening. So if y'all hear a baby crying, it's Harold's grandbaby, but it is my cousin, and it really doesn't bother me. You know how you in church and they say if the baby's crying, you got life. Life is in the building, okay? So we got life in the building. That's why you hear the baby, okay? Because we got life in the building. And sometimes I'm glancing over y'all. I'm not ignoring y'all. I'm all over the place. And I like both games, Uno and Phase 10. My family played both games. I think that's you, Thomas. Yay. We played it too.
What's up, Thomas?
I was going to say also, let's go to Biden. I want to talk about Biden. Just briefly, I don't want to really talk about politics for a long time. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. But Biden, there are a lot of people that said that Biden should not run because of the debate 2 weeks ago when we were here. And I said we were better to watch, but, for those that watched the debate, oh well.
This was true.
So, in my opinion, and then I'll let y'all give y'all's, I feel like I'm still going to vote for Biden. I feel like both of them are old as hell. And if Biden happens to lose his mind or croaks and dies, as people are saying in a cynical way, we have Kamala. So, that's how I feel. I still wouldn't vote for Trump. And I mean, if he drops out, then the options are who anyway. And like I said, if we had Donald Duck, Daffy Duck, Mickey Mouse, Kanye, I don't care who runs against Donald Trump, I will be voting for them. Okay? So that's not a Republican. And that's it for me. So what are y'all's thoughts? Do you think Biden should not run? You know, we're not gonna. And I do want to say this last thing. Like today, he was dealing with a NATO conference or whatever, and he happened to say somebody's name, one of those politician names, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I meant to vote for if I don't win Vice President Trump or something," and he said he mixed up a name again. So for me, they was like, "Oh yeah, again. See, there you go. He messed up. He said Vice President Trump." You know, but they were asking him questions, and it was like, "Oh, there he goes again. He's not qualified." My point is, any of us can be talking. I can be talking right now, and I can say Jordan, but you Dominic, and I mix it up. So does that mean that I'm not qualified to speak and talk, and I done lost my mind? Because all of us who have parents who had multiple children, like my mama may have ran through, it ain't but 3 of us, but she could have ran through the other 2 before she even got to my name, and I'm standing right there. And she be like, "You know who I'm talking to? I have 6 kids. I could be meaning this one, and I'm talking about that one." Like, and especially when you're in the heat of pressure in a heated conversation, you got a billion things going through your brain. You know who the hell he talking about. You know it's Vice President Kamala, not damn Trump. Right. So while y'all picking and going on like y'all are like y'all are some machine, or y'all cannot stumble and make mistakes. He made a freaking mistake like everybody does. So that does not mean he isn't qualified. And for those that don't want to vote for him, don't vote for him. I'm just saying what I'm going to vote for. That's all. So anyway, y'all's thoughts.
I'll see. So, I think that most people are going off of the mistakes more so than who's right or wrong. Right. And to me, it's like you can sit here and throw as many mistakes out there as you want, but at the end of the day, it's like in my heart, I feel like Trump is wrong. So I wouldn't, support that regardless of how many mistakes Biden makes or anyone else makes. So it's just that simple. Like I can't overcomplicate it. I've always, supported Biden the first election, and now I'm still in the same position. I don't have any other thoughts on it, so it's that simple to me.
I would say this. I kind of noticed that everybody is gravitating to negativity, so they'll try to find anything negative to pick or to find so they can say something. The reality is what Trump is going to do, he's going to use his money tactics in order to get to us, because he know, quote unquote, we need money and or we love money. And that's how he's going to get the black people votes. The reality is, and I'm going to be frank, he don't give 2 fucks about none of y'all.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Right.
When you're dealing with a narcissistic person, all he cares about himself. So that little PPP or PPO, whatever the crap was that y'all got, in the end, as y'all see, this gas prices are still going up from Trump administration, not Biden's. So to me, in my mind, I would say this: y'all need to go out and vote. First thing first, I feel like the presidency should have 8 years, and Congress should also have 8 years, because the reality is Congress are the ones that's actually running everything, and the president is just the puppets. So that's just my opinion, my philosophy. If y'all don't do anything else for yourselves, don't sit there and say your vote don't count, because if it didn't count, Obama would not have been president twice.
That would be the biggest mistake.
And that's going to be y'all number one biggest mistake. So please, whatever y'all do, if y'all don't do anything else, please go vote. For real, for real.
For the presidency.
For the presidency and all the other citizens.
I was going to say also, for those that believe that the PPP money came from Trump. It didn't. It came from Pelosi, whatever that lady name is.
Yeah, it sure
that
did.
she was really trying to do it for her people, like the Jewish people and
Yep.
businesses and stuff like that.
Yep.
And again, Trump was the puppet. He didn't give us anything. People that got it, us. When I'm saying all the Negroes that think it came from Trump, it did not. And you also have to remember, like Dominic said, each president is dealing with the residue of the president before. And a lot of things that they put in place don't happen until after they're out of office. They have to wait for the next person. So they always get the other president's garbage or treasures. So, yeah, that's something to remember. So what were you going to say? What do you feel about Biden's performance and whether he should drop out of
the
election like they're trying to get him to do?
So I just want to say this. First, let me apologize, Pr1ma, because you took your time and you explained what you've been going through for these past 2 weeks. I don't want to seem insensitive in regards to our family, your dad, my cousin. I just want to say, girl, hats off. You one of a kind. You is one of a kind, classy lady to take care of your father. Because you could be like, you know what, bump this. My brothers and my sisters, they ain't do it, can't really help me like they supposed to. Why? But you can't help it, Pr1ma. This is how God has created you. This is part of your calling. This is why this is the fourth parent that you've had to deal with. All I say is continue to fight on, soldier. Your reward is waiting on you. You're going to continue to be blessed. And that's why they don't understand why you are so blessed. Because of what you do and how you allow God to use you. So we're praying, for my cousin, your dad, that his perfect will be done, be done. And God, look, God is still in the miracle business. We know what the doctors said. We thank God for the doctors. Thank you, Lord, because they've educated themselves about the human body, and they're doing what they have learned. But God still is the one with the final say.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's been through a train wreck, but God, man's extremity is God's opportunity to prove who he is. He said, I'm still God. I still sit on the throne. I made man. He made all his organs and everything else. And if he wants to and he chooses to give him a new body and resurrect him, he can do that. But if not, he's saying, I'm ready for my son to come home.
Absolutely.
So we just thank God for what God is doing in his life, in your life, all the family life. Yes, ma'am, absolutely. In reference to Biden, I like your point of view. You said, God forbid if Biden doesn't, make it through. We do have Kamala Harris, and she is very capable of taking over this country. She's a bad African American mixed, whatever else she's mixed up with.
But they don't want a woman now. A lot of people don't, so that's why
they don't even know everything
Trump.
that she's doing.
Right.
She's doing so much, and they're not recognizing anything that she's doing.
It's okay.
But it's okay because the man upstairs see everything that she's doing. So she's doing her job. Just know that.
Because sometimes it ain't good for everybody to know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
As long as you know, I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? So they would be like, no, don't get her. No, we ain't going to let her know because she going to be, you see all what she doing?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so they'll do her the way they did Obama.
Correct.
They'll try and do everything they can to turn it to make it seem like they. At the end of the day, reality is they like to steal. They ain't nothing but some thieves. I call them thugs.
Okay.
That's what I call them.
Okay.
Although they call us thugs, the reality is they are the thugs.
Absolutely.
So that's all I have to say at this time.
Okay, so Roscoe, your thoughts on whether Biden should sit out or continue to run?
I don't think he should sit out. I think the whole entire thing is rigged. It's amazing that we only have these two individuals to choose from. And for his own party to say they don't feel like he's physically healthy enough to continue on, that is strange. Just come out and go publicly with that. It seemed like it's a whole bunch of confusion. And me personally, I believe the word Democrat and Republican is just a way to segregate people.
Facts.
At the end of the day, all of them are going to do what they're going to do.
What happened to Joe Kennedy?
He's trying to get enough signatures so that he can be on the ballot, but he can only be on the ballot in certain states. And like here in Georgia, we had to have enough signatures to have him put on the ballot. So they had to get permission because he was trying to run Democrat and they didn't want him to run Democrat. So in order for him to run independent in certain states, he has to get signatures and permission. They have to be not only in individual states, then they have to go, all those ballots, all those signatures have to be sent to California to be verified that they're really signatures before he can be put on the ballots in certain states.
I said 3 years, right? We might make it 2.
Let's see. Thomas said that he thinks Biden is too old to run. He needs to pass it to Kamala. But if Trump gets in, that he is moving to Canada.
Facts. I'm with you, boy.
Donald Trump is a hardcore criminal. Yep. And if he wins the seat, he said, out of his own mouth, he will become the first dictator president.
Facts. He's correct. He's correct.
But people don't care because they just don't want a minority woman in there. So they're rather
But
I think they would be fine with
this is my
white
take
one.
on it. I hear people.
A cooler.
I hear people say that they are Christians. They got a belief in Christ and God.
Who?
I hear people say that.
That they have a belief in God?
Yes, and so to me, they're putting faith in man. If you believe in God the way they explain it to you, and when they say no weapon formed against you shall prosper, I don't think nobody who plans to get into office to hurt people is going to be successful. It's kind of like your bad, you got your bad boss at work, and they end up getting fired for something crazy. Or the teacher that you didn't like because they were mean, and some reason your class get changed. It's just some things that, to me, are just not going to manifest. So I don't do a lot of back and forth, and media is doing stuff for ratings. People tuning in. I look at this presidential thing as like, like almost like reality TV now. It's like TikTok, just on your TV.
TikTok.
So I have a question. If you believe that,
TikTok.
What happens, or just from y'all, I have some other questions because I want to move on past this, but I do want to say something to think about. If Trump was to get in office and the economy is bad, or people that have businesses and companies can't have them anymore, and the gloom and doom, whatever that may be, as a people, because I know other races, they seem to pull together. They're okay living together. They're okay eating together. They're okay sharing their resources. What I'm afraid of is that, and not afraid like, oh my God, because I'm not this type of person, the type of person I'm getting ready to describe. Unfortunately, there are a whole lot of us that have this me, mine, I mentality. And they won't pull together because they have this crab in the barrel mentality. So it's like, oh, well, y'all figure it out. So I feel like just like during COVID, we were able to see certain things. If he is in office, and I pray he doesn't, but if he is, how many families and friends are really going to pull together to make sure that no man is left behind? As much as we say we're loyal, as much as we say we care about our family and we care about our friends, how many people going to let your folks come and stay there if they had to? How many people going to, say when they talk about the going off the grid or the lights turning off and all these emergency situations, like how many people are going to Make sure your neighbor is good. And, because unfortunately, I know a lot of black people that they don't want people in their house. They don't want people at their house. They don't want their children and grandchildren at their house. They don't want their sister and brother at their house. But if it meant that was going to be how we survive as a people and how we can rise again, because, again, they're talking about Civil War. Our kids playing video games and they children at the gun range. They children at the gun shows, and we got Negroes who got a problem with their black children being in certain environments. They got a problem because they so into church and God and God we trust, but you don't want them to go to the gun show. You don't want them to learn how to use guns. You don't want them, you don't even want them to watch certain things on TV where they can't even go do airsoft and, the pellet guns and stuff like that. But the other races, they're teaching their children to defend themselves and the how to survive. And, if your power is out, how are you going to eat? Like stuff like that some of us aren't doing. But those of us that do know how to do it, are we going to really open up our doors to help those that don't and teach those that don't know how to, so that we can survive as a people? Or are we going to perish as a people because we so damn selfish? Just something to think about. So
I guess in response to what you're saying, to me, it's only two reasons why you need money: to pay for the things that you need and buy the things that you want. Other than that, you got a lot of money. You just got a lot of money. It's nothing. So the people that's backing presidents, if they do something crazy, they won't have no way of making money. So it's kind of like biting the hand that feeds you. You got to have poor people to have rich people. Correct. So if you do something crazy, you're gonna hurt yourself. It'll hurt them more than the person that's already at the bottom.
Exactly.
Because most of the people at the bottom already is in survival mode.
Yeah,
So
they already know how to survive.
The people at the top don't know how to boil water.
But they'll come and take yours. That's my point.
The thing about it,
Because that's what they're preparing for. When they talk about Civil War, they talking about coming wherever to take whatever from whomever. And if we only playing video games and listening to music, and we aren't prepared to defend what we do have, those that have, you're right, they cannot survive like the average Joe, like us, but they will come and take what we have.
You know what? It just came to my head. Well, first off, let me say this about this crabs in the barrel. So that's absolutely incorrect of what the teaching is. So crabs in the barrel, you have a whole bunch of crabs. Believe it or not, they're actually lifting each other up. Like, real talk, they really are. But because it's a whole bunch of crabs, in everybody else's perspective, it's crabs in the barrel, you hold each other down. That's incorrect. But that's everybody's philosophy. Mm-hmm. But
well, yeah, if you watch them.
I got a gut feeling, and I don't know why, so I apologize in advance. I got a gut feeling when it's time for our brown asses to actually get in what you call survival mode, because we don't like nobody taking stuff from us. We don't even want our parents to take the cell phones, let alone our other stuff. I think these kids going to step up, like all the way and step out. They're going to do what they have to do. They're going to do what they need to do.
I believe that.
I truly, truly do. And, you know, they crazy. Like, they're going to do what they have to do.
And I agree with Dominique on that.
Yeah.
It's a new breed. These kids now, this younger generation, I'm not going to say kids like an infant or a teenager, but this younger generation now, you can't pour water on them and tell them it's raining. This a different breed. Now, the problem is the older crowd are scared that they're depleting.
Yep.
Now you got so many brown people that got lighter friends that will go the extra mile for each other. For give you an example.
How many of us in here have those?
What, some light skins?
Some lighter friends that'll go the extra mile and do all this and that for you?
I have two.
Okay.
I know Korean though.
Right, but it's still.
Okay.
And like for instance, I was in a school, and I saw a secretary had all these pictures of brown babies on her desk. I said, them kids must really love you to give you. You got all these school pictures. I said, you look like a yearbook. She said, boy, these my kids. I said, whoa. She said, I married a black man. She said, I retired from the Navy. And she said, where I'm from, I never saw black men. And so when I was on that ship and saw all those brown bodies, she said, I fell in love with every black man on the boat. And she said, my husband was the head of the ship. And she said, we got married and we had all these kids. She said, where I was from, my father had a fit and told me I couldn't get my inheritance. He didn't want to see me no more. And she said, I didn't care. I didn't want to see him anymore because the way he was living was stupid.
Right.
So she said, I was moving forward. And if you think about our out of God creations, we the only one don't move past. We don't move past our family. You know, once you get a wife and your kids, that's your next phase in life.
Phase, correct.
But a lot of times we tend to hold back. We the only creation that God created that holds on to them 20, 30, 40 years. Whereas a bird
Well, that's how God intended it, though.
That depends.
No, if you look at books, if you look at the religious books, then generations take care of generations. They go back and they take care of generations and their lineage and all that. That is a different responsibility than animals because you bring up that example often. But with
you
humans
train
are
your
supposed
kids
to.
where they'll be able to take care of you.
Yep.
But
So
if
that
your
means
kids
you don't just let them go.
if your kids can't take care of themselves, they definitely won't be able to take care of you.
Right.
That's why you are able to take care of your father because you are able to take care of you.
But
if,
I was also one that had examples and was trained where there are a lot of parents that will expect or say that their children should do certain things and be capable of certain things. However, you didn't equip them to do it. So how can you hold them accountable for something you didn't equip them to do?
Right. I totally agree with you. But think about most things now. If you think about it, if we really, like that's why they say once you get married, there's your wife, your kids, and you move forward. A lot of time now, you got people get married and they still, like they married to their mama. Or
I get what you're saying.
Or the woman get married and
So
seem like she married to the kids.
yeah.
And if it wasn't for, the cycle, the chain of command not being harsh and brass is broken.
Mm-hmm.
The pecking order is not intact. So a lot of times going back, like to me, if I look at how everybody says Civil War, they don't really fear us. And it's been proven since Constitution. You know, how a lot of people don't know why they considered us not a whole man, so they don't make decisions. They don't make a whole human. They don't make a decision based on us.
I'm gonna say this, and this is known facts. So, you remember how back in the day, it depends on your age, so please forgive me. I'm a little older than I look. But back in the day, they used to show videos of Africa with the Ethiopians looking all extra homeless and they're poor and they have this and they have that. Or they'll sit there and tell us, oh, you can't go out of the United States because they don't like brown people, this, that, and the third. Let me tell you something, people. Do me a favor. Save all your damn money. Every last dime you have. Don't buy no more nothing. And get the hell up out of the United States of America. Real talk. Because they love some us. That's number one. Number two, they treat us like human beings over there in other countries. They respect us. They will pay for our education. They'll give us anything that we need and or want just because we are a brown American. You know what I mean? So America is the only country, number one, that throws away the older people. We are the only people that does that. All the other countries, they take care of the elders.
They family.
Because they're family.
Yep.
So technically, say for example, me and her got married. We got 3 kids or something like that. Yes, this is our family. That's called the immediate family. That's what God say when a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. That's the immediate family. That does not mean to neglect your family or
Right.
just dismiss your family.
Right.
You still have your family. You still love your family. But these people right here come first. So their needs, their wants come first, and everybody else is second, third, fourth, fifth, all the way down to your parents. It's the same thing. But once parents get up in age, that's
Then
when
your
we
parents take
supposed to
a
say,
priority.
okay, it's time for us to take care of them.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? But I get it. Well, some parents, real talk, they make you don't want to take care of their ass. Shit, Shawty, I remember what you did to me when I was a kid. You know what I mean? But you have to sometimes remove yourself from that situation and allow Yahweh to pour himself inside of you so you're able to mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically prepare to take care of your parents.
And I did that 3 times.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what P
3
over here
times.
saying. She did it 3 times, so I get it. You know what I mean? But at the same time, we have to, number one, if we don't do nothing else for ourselves, we have to, for real, genuinely forgive ourselves. Because we was kids. We didn't know that they was right or they was wrong or whatever. They was taught, they did what they thought
What
they
they
knew
knew was right.
was
Whatever they
right.
thought
You know what I'm
was
saying?
right.
But my mentality is once you know better, you do better. But at the end of the day, that's still a choice to do better. You have to want to do better. You have to want to help. You have to want the knowledge and the education and everything else. So if I'm willing to help you, why not take that help instead of taking that pride that you got? Put your pride aside. The hell with your pride. Get the help that you need. You know what I'm saying? So life.
Would y'all take care of y'all? Would y'all right now, if that was to happen, and we didn't, because I was told we need to answer the question.
Go ahead. I'm
So
sorry.
the question was, if things were to go left in this room, are we the type of people that would help those around us and open our doors to those around us, or would we continue with the I, me, and my mentality and let your family or those that you say you're close to leave them behind and not help them? And if we had to come together as a people, would you open your doors or wouldn't you? That's what you're saying. Answer the question.
Jordan can answer the question.
I
for
think-
me.
I was
think
just about to say.
Jordan can answer the question.
I
for
think
me.
that's a no-brainer. You don't have a choice.
No, you have a
You have a
choice.
choice.
People have a choice.
I think in a
People don't open their
situation,
doors now.
I think in a situation like that, if it came down to it, you're gonna have to come together. Whether you like the person, you're gonna have to come together with a person you don't like.
Right.
But when a person have a choice, you're gonna have people say, "No, I'm not gonna do it." But
Some
when,
people might. Some people
but
might
based
not.
on what you're saying, if it come down to it, everybody gonna have to stick together. Whether if it's one white person living in your neighborhood, he got to get down with all the blacks in his neighborhood.
But not even just the neighbors. I'm talking about mainly your family,
Your
your
family
family, your
members and
so-called
stuff
friends,
Yeah, but
or
Jordan can
your
answer my question
children,
with
or
no
your.
problem. Like Jordan, answer my question for me, man.
So,
Like I'm gonna get. Hold up, John. I'm gonna cut you off.
Alright.
Like I have a 4x4 truck, and it snowed one year, and we was out of power for like 4 days, and I had, me and my buddy, we the only one had 4-wheel drives, so we was able to go around and pick up neighbors and go to the grocery store, and it was neighbors that we didn't know, but by doing that, we became closer to people that you didn't even know that lived on your own street. And so when you have situations that come about, you don't have a choice.
I think one thing I said I was gonna do, and it's just reminding me again, is that when we were young, we didn't have cell phones. We had house phones. And in having house phones, we knew everybody's number. We remembered everybody's number. But because we have cell phones and because people have changed their numbers so often, I stopped bothering to remember certain numbers, like, because I know they're gonna change it, and they're gonna change it. My number been the same for probably 20 years at least. But I was like, hey, I need to call the phone provider and download the phone numbers, you know what I'm saying? Because when this goes, like, if anything happens, can you call somebody in an emergency situation? Do you know the phone numbers? Or I was listening to podcast, and they were saying in an emergency situation, if everything went off the grid or you couldn't reach your loved ones, have you told your family or your immediate family, like, make sure we meet each other in this place, or do something so that we can come together and we're not stuck on the opposite side of the world, although we're right here in town together. Like, what do we do in these situations? And I'm saying that I just think that nobody knows what's going to happen. But there are some things that we need to, and it's not to pose fear, it's just things that, some things we see in these movies, some things we see on TV, like they're preparing us for what they're thinking about, like, and they're trying to see how we respond to certain situations. Oh, everybody showed up at the movie, and what was the reviews for the movies? Like, it's a precursor of what they're thinking, and we've seen it from movie to movie to movie to sitcom to sitcom to sitcom. They're telling us what they're doing
right in front of us,
and we ignore it, right?
We
so
ignore it.
Everybody here says everybody here said.
So go ahead and answer the question real quick.
That we would help people. That we wouldn't.
Renee, would you help?
I would help.
What would you do?
I would help.
You would help. Jordan?
I would help.
Of course.
Okay.
Jordan, what would I do?
Sacrifice.
What am I already doing?
Sacrificing.
Okay.
Well, everybody know me. Know I'm gonna open the door to everybody.
I mean, my house is it feels like a revolving door, to be quite honest.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, I have had the house that I have been in now. It's my childhood home, but my mom gave it to me in 2009.
Mm-hmm.
By the end of 2009, I already had 2 people living with me.
Mm-hmm.
By 2010, I had 3 more people living with me. They moved out, 3 more people moved in. I have lived in my house technically from then all the way to 2024 by myself for all of a whole 6 months to a year. And that's not because, it's my house and I don't want nobody to live with me. At the end of the day, people need somewhere to go. And I'm not that type of person. Shit, shout out, I don't know where the fuck you gonna go. You can't stay here. Honestly, with me, you got 6 months to a year to stay with me and get your shit together.
Right.
That's just bottom line, period. I have a 15-year-old at my house. I love him dearly.
He gonna stay longer than there.
He gonna stay until he turns 24 years old, simply because I don't believe in, oh, you're 18, get out my house. I don't believe in that. I don't care if you're a son or a daughter. You're gonna decide what you're gonna do with your life until you turn 24. I will give you to 24. After 24, we're gonna decide what we're gonna do. He already told me by the time he turned 18 years old, this is the reason why we have a 3-year plan. When he turned 18, he's graduating. I will also have graduated as well. Mm-hmm. And he said, we're going out of the country. I didn't even get a chance to tell him my plan. He already told me we are, as in me and him going out of the country, because he already know that America is full of shit.
Okay.
So
that's good. So we answered the question for us. Hey y'all.
So yes, everybody will definitely support somebody else and be there for one another.
Will Canada be one of the places y'all would consider?
Canada? Canada is a place that we are considering, but definitely not the place. One of the places we are considering is Netherlands. That's one of them. Norway. Norway is the next one. Sweden is the third one. My mom's side of the family, which is also my side of the family, we are from Switzerland. So therefore, I guess I need to go meet some of my people. And China and Japan are the other 2. So.
Well, another thing to consider for all of us colored people that have a felony record, I don't, thank God, knock on wood. Thank God. No goodness on my part, because I ain't saying I ain't never broke the law. So don't get it confused. But the options are different for the people that have felony records. So that's another thing that needs to change in politics, because just because I committed a crime does not mean I should have to pay for it for the rest of my life. In all situations. In some situations, I think, yes, you should. In other situations, I think you shouldn't. So anyway, enough of politics. One thing I mentioned earlier was that my dad and nobody has to respond, but make sure that the people around you know, especially, well, I've known since I was in my 20s that I wanted to be cremated. I told my family, everybody that I've been with, like, hey, I want to be cremated. Don't bury me. Spread my ashes at a place that I told them, and spread. They can keep some of my ashes, and the rest of them take it to the East Coast so I could travel the world that way. Let them know, you know, if you're okay living on life support. Let them know if you want to be resuscitated or not. If you're okay living as a vegetable, meaning no brain activity, there's no chance of, or how long you would be, how long you would want to be on life support situations, because they're, incurring expenses or whatever, especially if you have to pay for it out of pocket. That's fair. It's fair to your loved ones, and if you love them, you'll make sure they know. And you won't, it just makes it easier for them, and it eases some of the stress, as well as, living wills and power of attorney and health power of attorney, all of that stuff. But still, even if you don't get a chance to change it and update it, just make sure everyone around you is clear on what it is that you want, especially if you don't have a spouse, if you're not married, your children, your parents, your best friend. Enough people know that at the end of the day, the right decision is made that you would want made for you, if you can't make the decisions yourself.
I just text my mom and asked her everything you just said.
Yeah, it's true.
So I got it on paper, got it on the text.
Right,
So,
it's
so
true.
I know.
And especially if you have in that situation, well, you good. But there are some people, that has never happened before. Maybe that's the spirit of some spirit. But there are some people that have to make those decisions with other siblings or parents and children debating about which one wanted this, and arguing about what's right and what's not right. So
I got a question.
just make sure that you're clear on that.
So at such an early age, what did you experience to make you say that you wanted to be cremated?
Mm-hmm. Well, I was a tomboy. Yes, I was a tomboy. I like climbing trees, riding bikes with no hands, wrestling, playing football, all of that, right? So, in the ground, that we're going to just be like in the natural, in the ground, it's bugs, it's dirt, it's cold, it's dark. So no, I didn't want to be there. I believe that in the spiritual, if we say to be absent, those of us that grew up in church, to be absent from the body is to be present with the Lord. I didn't want anybody to come to the cemetery and sit and cry and whine over me, because I'm not there. And if my body is going to deteriorate and it's just going to be bones or whatever, like, I'm not there. So why come there and sit and cry and whine over me when I'm not there? And I believe that our spirit lives on, and my spirit is everywhere, right? I believe that my mom isn't here, but I believe my mom is like Tinkerbell, like, and that's just in the natural where people would understand. Like, Tinkerbell flies everywhere and can go anywhere, everywhere. I can see her anywhere, and that's the way that I explained it to my children. So that's another reason why I did not want to be buried, because I believe that my spirit goes on. As I got older as an adult, and I see how families go into debt trying to bury, how funeral homes charge a whole lot of money for caskets, and a lot of them you're just renting them. You don't even purchase them. I remember here in Georgia, what's that man's name? I asked you the other day. The man who... Anyway, it was a man here. He was collecting all this money for funerals, and he was just dumping the bodies. And we had some storm here, and all the bodies was floating down the street.
Wow.
And caskets and urns and stuff. So, because he was just putting bodies and urns, all this stuff on top of stuff on top of stuff.
Greed.
So he winded up being charged and going to jail, prison, whatever, for doing it. But he took money from a lot of people, and then when families were going to see their loved ones, they didn't know where their loved ones were. When they were floating down the street, some of them never found the remains of blah, 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 blah. There are funeral homes and cemeteries that dump your bodies out in the dirt. And you know, is most of them don't even put them in the ground while you're there.
Right.
They leave them on top until all the family's gone, and they say we're gonna lower them in the ground later. So don't go broke. Don't spend all that money. You can spend that money on something else. For me, like spend it on my kids, my grandkids, pay the mortgage, like pay off the car, whatever. Like, why spend it on that? And again, I'm not there. So people that go and sit at the cemetery, pour out a little liquor, cry all night, like my daddy, all that kind of stuff. Like, your mom ain't there. You should have did right when they was living. So do right when they living. Give me my flowers while I'm living, and don't spend all that money going broke. And that was just it. Like, if you really believe that I live on, then why are you going to see me at the cemetery? I ain't there. So that's why I feel that way. Initially, my mom didn't know what she wanted. She said she thought she wanted to be buried, but as time progressed and she looked at herself and saw herself deteriorate, you know what I'm saying? She just told me to go ahead and cremate her. So I spread her ashes in a place, and I gave some to some people, and I have some that I keep on an altar that I have for her. So that is why. So I'm just saying, make sure you handle your business. And unfortunately, I've had parents who did not have life insurance also out of those 4. And that meant it left a burden. You can go to your county. For those that don't know, you can go to your county and get services for your loved ones. But it's not going to be like if you did it yourself. They're gonna give you the bare minimum, and that's not fair to your family either. And neither is it fair to not take care of your health, so that your family is burdened with that also. So those are just things to think about. And this is not my first time experiencing some of these things, but these are things to take into consideration.
Life insurance is only $35, $40, $65. It depends on your age.
And it depends on when you got it, when you get it, what your issues are.
Well, you all didn't know that if you have a checking account, a bank account, that the FTC provides $250,000 of life insurance at your death. A lot of people don't know that.
But I think there's still some stipulations to that. It's not automatic.
Yeah, research it.
Right. Yeah, research it. But it's not automatic for every human.
My grandfather, I didn't know this till my grandfather passed. My grandfather passed before my grandmother. And he said when he died, he wanted to be by my grandmother, so he wanted to make sure he paid for his funeral before he had it. And so,
okay.
So, only thing, because the family had got so large after grandmama passed, the grandkids, we were grandkids, and then by the time she passed, by the time my grandfather passed, my grandfather was a great grandfather. So that means everybody else had kids. So the only thing we had to pay for was an extra funeral car.
Yeah.
But he had paid for it and everything. And so basically, the whole family had to come up with $100.
So he paid the cemetery and the mortuary.
He paid for it. So a lot of times,
When you say that,
a lot of times you can go to a funeral home and just pay. You say, look, this is what I want done. How much it's gonna cost, and you can pay on it. And so I don't care if you die 20 years, 30 years later.
It's already paid for.
It's already paid for. Even though cost of living goes up.
Let your parents know. I mean, not your parents, but your family know where that paper is or that documentation. Because if you go back and you do not have that documentation, they can swear up and down.
That you ain't have it, absolutely.
Right. But a lot of time we don't know.
True.
And
that's why I said make sure your loved ones know, because a lot of people keep stuff secret and they don't tell them because it's the kids. They don't need to know.
No,
It ain't, they worry about that
I can
later.
speak
Or they
on
keep
that.
it private, which is some bullshit. But go ahead.
So, my mother passed away when I was 15. And before she passed, though, she was working at a funeral home. So she did funeral services. She watched babies get buried. She watched other people's family members get buried. And I would ask her, like, what made her want to go down that path because it was so like emotional for her to go and see that. So she would come back to us and just have these conversations, like you said. And of course, at that time, I didn't get it. You know, I'm thinking like we're gonna have this time to,
Forever.
grow and talk about happier things. But she made it important to have these conversations with us at a young age and to know what a will is, what a funeral, how that even came about. So for us, it was very tough. But at the same time, I felt like knowing that made it a little bit easier to accept, because now, being 28, about to be 29 in 2 weeks, I felt the spirit in her move when she told me, "Hey, this is what I wanted." And now that I'm able to see it, and I'm seeing other people grow in their age, yes, it's fear that's motivating some, but it's also the spirit that's motivating me to give that information to my children or their children. So I feel like with everyone having that I mentality, that's only going to make your fear grow even more.
Yep.
You're gonna fear the unknown even more because you have yourself to take care of and you don't have anyone else. So just having that conversation can make things a little bit easier. It's not gonna be, easy peasy, but it's a little bit easier to accept, But, that I just wanted to say that.
I would like to interject because I had a granny who did the same thing. She paid $8,000 to the cemetery, to the mortuary, and $8,000 for her plot to the cemetery. But of course, her oldest daughter, she still, got a contract. And that's how I kind of look at life insurance. It's a contract on your life. I'm going to tell y'all something about to blow you. Well, it may not. My children's father, we were married for 10 years. And the pastor who 15 years later came to me and asked me if I would forgive him for putting him in the secretary together. He basically came to my house and said, "Will you forgive me because I caused your divorce, and would you forgive me?" And I told him, I said, "Of course I forgive you, but thank you for confirming what I already knew." So this pastor convinced my ex-husband to get $100,000 life insurance on me. And during the divorce, he was asking me to sign the $100,000 life insurance contract. He tells my ex that I am going to die.
Who, the pastor?
The pastor.
Well, I'll be damned.
Prophesy.
That's right. He
Prophet
worked
liar.
witchcraft, all
all
the.
killing you.
Right.
He was telling my husband that I wasn't doing right and I wasn't living right, and that I was gonna die and God was gonna get me and all this stuff. And I refused to sign the contract because I wasn't crazy. But they was definitely waiting, and he would call me up, and I would feel, not to get off the track here, but I could actually feel when he would call me, I would be losing my breath, didn't know why. And then I would hang the phone up on him and begin to pray, and then the Holy Spirit would bring a song into me, and it would just leave me. So he was trying to destroy me.
Lucifer himself, huh?
Yes, that's right. So he was trying to destroy me. But the bottom line, what I'm trying to tell you, their ministry, they believed in that, having life insurance and contracts on it. So I agree that it's a good idea to just get you an annuity, like our sister Miss Fallon came and explained to us. Because it's sad that Caucasians, they're good at killing their parents for life insurance.
Boy, let me tell you. Waiting on them to die, boy. Can you hurry up, please?
They will help them to die.
I will help you.
Especially when they know that they are,
So,
Oh, I got something to say on that. I know I was at work, and a friend of mine's older white gentleman was writing out checks. And I said, "Man, nobody write checks no more." He said, "Man, I'm what y'all call old school.
Old school. Yeah.
And I said, who write a check for $11? He said, I'm paying my assisted living insurance. And I said, assisted living insurance? He said, let me explain it to you. He says, like, say, for instance, if I have a stroke and have to go in a home, the home can't take my house from my kids.
Right.
They can't take my car. They can't get my pension. And so he said, you ever seen, like up on Windy Hill, it's this building where a lot of older people live at? He said, well, their insurance pay for that.
That's right.
And he said, I paid $11 a month. And he said it would pay up to $6,500 a month. That'll pay for me somewhere to stay, my medicine, and a nurse.
I never heard that low. I've heard $200 and something a month.
Well, that
what
was
year
a
was
long
that?
time ago.
But I'm gonna tell you, Harold, I paid
Well,
$19 a month.
Yeah.
But you've been paying it for a while. What year did you start?
It's only been probably say 20 years. But
That's why, because you
Right.
started 20
20
years
years
ago,
ago, right.
and that was smart.
But the thing about it, like say, and he told me, he said, don't you ride motorcycles? Ain't you a daredevil?
Right.
He said, your family will lose everything if something happened to you. And said, you got to take care of you. He said, like, for instance, he said, I'm going to keep it real with you, man. He said, that's why us put our parents in nursing homes, because we had that insurance. He said, you remember the cabin you went to? He said, my grandmother built that in the 40s. He said, when she went in the nursing home, if she didn't have that policy, she'd had to surrender all her land, her car, her horse, everything she owned will go to them. And you can't get it back. The family can't get it back until she's out of the nursing home or the care of them for 2 years. She got to live 2 years outside of that, and they still have rights to her stuff.
Like,
Okay,
that's
question. Do y'all know what y'all want in y'all's end? Would you like to be buried or cremated?
I like to be cremated. Don't put all that money in the ground.
Oh, y'all don't know. If you don't know, you don't
So,
know. But
I feel like I would like to be cremated. That's just me personally. But I wouldn't mind if they decided to bury me as well. But if they did, I would want to be buried near my mother. So
For me, my stuff is already paid for.
To be
buried.
okay. So you would want to be buried.
Yeah,
Okay.
my mama already done did it.
Yeah,
so
but what
yeah.
would you want? I'm saying, what would you want? Because our family doesn't really believe in cremation, but I want to.
Yeah, I probably want to be buried.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I came from dirt. Might as well go back from dirt.
You're going to go back to dirt real fast if you get cremated. But go ahead.
I'm gonna be burnt
Right,
dirt
you
though.
be ashes.
I don't want to be burnt dirt.
You're not burnt. You're not black burnt. It's
I'm
just
burnt.
ashes. You just,
I'm
you
burnt
just
though, baby.
Disintegrate. You just disintegrate.
Well, the reason why I'm on the in between, because sometimes if you die prematurely and you're able to come back, you can't come back if you've already been cremated. And
so
I've
you
I've
gonna
heard
rise
so many.
like Jesus?
Oh, that's a good one. Explain that to me, because dead is dead.
Well,
you know she said Jesus
I-
can raise you from the dead.
Yeah. Well,
I
let
mean,
me
God
just
can raise you from the
let me
dead
just
before.
share a few
Okay, go ahead.
quick testimonies. There was a lady in our ministry. Her mother was dead for 3 days, and when she woke up and said, "What time is it?" She had been dead for 3 days.
But where was
And
she at?
she-
But hold on, where was she at?
She was across the islands, because they don't bury their people right away.
Right.
I think they wait up 2 to 4 weeks
Okay.
before they
Right.
bury them.
So
So
she-
Unless you
Snapping.
Caucasian. If you
Right.
Caucasian, you got probably a good week.
But see,
But-
that
but-
goes again
but
when
let
you
me-
say the power of God.
right.
Paul's marinate on that, absorb it. Whether you dust, frozen, already embalmed.
I hear what you're
If you
saying.
want
Wasn't
you-
embalmed.
I hear what you're saying,
her to
but
come
let me
back.
say this.
So
also.
which one you
Let me-
going with? You going with man death or Christ death? Because if you
Well,
did,
let me
Go ahead.
I like this, Harold. Go ahead.
finish. So the other guy, he was dead going on 4 days, and the guy who does the mortuary,
The mortician?
Mortician, thank you. The mortician was a Christian guy, and he said the Holy Spirit told him to give him the dead man an IV. The Holy Spirit had already told his wife that her husband was coming back, but she didn't say anything to the mortician. She thought she was just hearing things. So while the mortician had the man in his care, thank you, in his care, the Holy Spirit said, give him an IV. He said, God, I can't give a dead man an IV. He dead. Holy Spirit said, give him an IV. You know, Jesus turned water into what?
Wine.
So he turned the IV into what? Blood.
Blood, yeah.
So when he did it, the man was telling the church.
You heard this at the church?
Yes, I met the man. I met the man who came back. And he was saying that.
But you said he was at the mortuary for 4 days.
It was going on 4 days. I'm sorry, it was going on 4
In
days.
the cooler.
At the mortuary.
Are
And
they gonna keep you in the cooler?
absolutely.
And
So,
they typically
but he was.
embalm you before.
I think what he was doing, he had already took his blood out. That's why he had to give him an IV, because the blood had already been drawn. Yeah.
Because they couldn't have
'Cause
took
he
the blood
was
out, because when they take the blood out, that's when they embalm you and put the chemicals in. They
Well, he
replace
must
one
have.
with the other.
Well, he must hadn't did the
Right, that's what I'm
embalming
saying.
yet.
He must not have.
But the blood was gone because he was a bright skinned man like yourself, Pr1ma, and he came back Roscoe color. And it's because the blood, because of the.
So you want him? You would rather? So what you're saying is that? Look, he said, "What kind of shit?" He said he was.
You're so silly. I said he was your color. I didn't say that. I just said he's your color. He was your color, Pr1ma, and when he came back, he was your color.
Right. So you
But-
just want them to make sure you dead and give you a week or two?
Right. Don't be cremating me, because I feel like.
Well, you need to write something, because they're going to tell your loved ones that they're going to charge rent for you staying there for so many days. That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
They charge them to keep your body for so many days if you don't want them to embalm you right away.
That's true.
Okay.
So put that in your paperwork too.
You know, like that's like that there, Harlan. See, to me, that's what get people screwed up with religion. Like everybody say, "Oh, you going to heaven or hell," but it also say it don't go to the rapture and judgment day, right? So everybody that's dead just in the ground. Ain't nobody in heaven or hell. You know that, right?
I know that according to Revelations, that everyone goes to heaven, but everybody don't stay. According to the book of Revelations 20.
But they go in.
Everybody goes
They go to the
to
gate.
heaven.
They go to the gate.
Right, that's what I'm saying. But when do
Right.
they go?
No, they don't enter.
As soon as they say once you leave the body, you go into
Once your
judgment.
spirit leaves the body.
Once the spirit leaves the body.
But then what about the scriptures that say, you when the rapture?
Right.
Then, so which is it?
It's a catch-22 in
Okay,
my
so
book.
Because they're different
Because
authors.
you gotta
They're
think
different
about it.
authors
Hold
in the
on,
Bible.
hold on. You got to think about it. You talking to a man who wasn't raised in church.
Right, but I'm
So
saying they're different. When people say the Bible contradicts itself, my whole point is this: it really doesn't contradict itself. It's
right.
different authors
Uh-huh.
Right.
of
And-
those
and
books,
some of
and
them
everybody's
add
giving their
on
own version
opinion.
of right. That's what it really
But
is.
if
So
you
we
if
don't
you
know.
get the original Bible that's actually in Hebrew
And Aramaic
and
and Greek,
boy, look, let me tell you something.
they still don't.
Yeah,
they're still
it's
not all the
what
same.
what's being said is
In the English
inaccurate in a lot of
Absolutely,
ways.
in the translation.
So technically, the reality is when you're like, let's say for example, I got the traditional Bible, right, and then I pass it on to Jordan.
What you talking about?
So
King
Jordan
James?
turned around. It don't matter which Bible at this point.
Right.
Georgia Jordan put the Bible kind of similar to mine, but he add on some stuff. So
And
he
take
done
some stuff
passed
away.
and took some stuff away,
Right.
and he done passed it to her, and it's the same thing, it's the same thing, and the same thing, and the same thing. It's just a repeated cycle. Religion ain't nothing but a man-made word.
Yep.
That's all it is. Reality is we all supposed to be spiritual.
Yep.
That's
I
the
agree.
reality. We all supposed to be
And have a
spiritual
relationship.
and have a relationship with the
With
man,
your creator.
with
With your creator.
So,
Absolutely.
So, that being said, like my grandmother was sick before she passed, had
Okay.
congestive heart failure. So she used to go to church faithfully. And my nephew, my grandmother was big in the church, my grandfather, and my nephew it was like church family. Everybody married each other in the church. So my nephew had both grandparents and great grandparents in his one church. So he, out of everybody, he went to church
Trying
every
to
Sunday.
save that for next week.
He went to church every Sunday because he got this. It's like a family reunion for him.
Yeah,
So it wasn't so much like church.
Right.
All his cousins,
He happy to see everybody.
aunts on both
Okay.
sides.
Right.
You get to run through church,
Right.
you know. So this particular Sunday, my grandmama didn't go. He got mad. She's like, baby, I'm not feeling well, whatnot. He said, well, every Sunday, you and my other grandmama, y'all be doing all that running and screaming in church, talking about that man. And if you believe in that man like you say you do, he'll fix you. Mm-hmm. So they missed that Sunday. The next Sunday, he got real mad.
That she didn't go again.
She didn't go again. So she said, I'm just not able. He said, well, grandmama, don't you know that, you know, people didn't say great-grandmama or great-great-grandmama. They just say grandmama or mama. Mm-hmm. He said, well, grandmama, don't you know God put doctors here to fix your heart? Why you want to go to the doctor? She could never answer. Well, she went to the doctor, but, you know, they tell her, you too old, they're going to go under anesthesia and all that. But he was like, God put these people here to fix you. Why don't you go and get fixed? She could never explain that to him. And I think it shocked her because it was coming from a 6-year-old.
Oh, wow.
So that's what really, I think, got her.
Yeah.
So I think, to me, when God, the healing process, and that brings somebody back to life, to me, you gone when you gone. You here while you here.
Just make sure I'm gone. That's all. So,
That's what I'm
game
saying,
night.
too.
Adult
Make
game
sure I'm
night
gone,
is
'cause
this
I'm
Saturday.
gone.
I'm doing it at 4975 Stone Mountain Highway, Suite 700, and it's from 8 p.m. until 2 a.m. I will have a live band there. We're going to have like a jam session where we'll have a regular band, but we'll also have different musicians sitting in on different instruments. We'll have vocalists. We have karaoke from 11-ish to 2-ish. A full bar, full kitchen. We'll have dancing. We have all types of games. I'm really looking forward to it. This game night, I'm doing it on July 13th because that is the day that my mom transitioned. She passed with, she transitioned with pancreatic cancer, and she had just turned 61, so she was young. I thought I couldn't live without her. She was the one that told me I need to be out in the world so they can hear my mouth and hear what I have to say and hear my opinion and my advice and my love and my smile and all that good stuff. And at the time when she was telling me, I was like, Mama, don't nobody want to hear me and don't nobody want to da-da-da-da. So now I'm doing it. And so that night I'm dedicating to my mom and pancreatic cancer awareness. So I would love for people to come out. The admission is $15. And you know, there were some people that complained, oh, well, you're charging this and charging that. But there are places in Atlanta that charge $20-something, $30-something, up to $60-something for a 2-hour show. You're not, you can't stay for 6 hours. You're not playing games. You're not meeting and mingling. The food is more expensive and it doesn't taste as good. So come out for $15 and have a good time. Play games, meet people, mingle. Listen to some live music, do karaoke. That's what I want to say for this Saturday, adult game night at Southern Style Lounge and Bistro at 4975 Stone Mountain Highway, Suite 700, Lilburn, Georgia, 30047. Every Thursday night, I am here from 8:30-ish to 10-ish on Caribbean Life TV. When you go on Facebook and when you go on YouTube. If you download the Live 365 app, go to Caribbean Life Radio and you will hear us every Thursday night from 8:30-ish to 10-ish. What is that? Funeral music. And you can call in 678-661-1819 if you have topic suggestions, if you have questions, comments, feedback. I would greatly appreciate it. You can follow me, Just Pr1ma, Justpr1ma, on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And I am gonna say this: we all pull cards. I just want y'all to pick one card to read the question and then answer the question, and don't make it long.
Okay, I go first.
That's my song that you
What song is that anyway?
When it's all over,
Oh, Dillion, the song y'all wear a crown. Yeah,
I
just heard
shall
that.
see his face.
Okay, read one of your cards.
I
Go
got
ahead.
my card. What thing would you change about the world and why?
Quick.
I would make it. I would change how much a person pay for rent, and why. You got people pay more for rent, and you would never be able to afford a house to buy a home. I ride around sometimes and just see places. That's what it costs. How much a 1-bedroom costs?
23, 24.
And they say you got to make 4 times the rent.
Yep.
So if I make 4 times the rent, I wouldn't be calling you.
Right. Might as well get a house.
All right, next over here.
That was quick, golly.
It is quick. That's why I said quick.
I would
What's
change.
your question? No, what's your card? Read your card.
What is one thing you are most looking forward to in the next decade?
Okay.
For me, I'm looking forward to starting my podcast.
that's
I
easy.
am, inspired by you, Pr1ma, and what you're doing here. So
Oh, thank you.
that is one thing I'm looking forward to.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
Your turn.
What is your favorite way to stay active and exercise? I'm in the gym a lot.
I know.
Yeah.
Going to the gym.
So,
With X.
whatever. So,
Remember that?
yeah. So I don't go to the gym with my ex, but
I'm just
I
saying,
have
I just
gone to
recollect.
the gym.
That was a
with
hot
my
topic.
ex.
Right, hot topic. That's why
Yeah, I
I said
have gone to the gym with my ex.
Right.
So too late. But yeah, definitely going to the gym. Definitely morning walks, working out at the crib. Just staying active, staying busy. So yeah,
That's what you would
running with the kids, stuff like that. So yeah.
Yeah.
Don't he love kids?
Well,
I don't like kids
Carolyn,
at
your
all,
cards.
but I love the kids.
right.
Oh my goodness, it's a love-hate thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's kind of like you got two. As long as they can go home.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? But if my lady got a kid, that's a little different. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna treat the kid like it's mine, although it ain't mine. But when she go, the kid go. You know, unless the kid want to stay. That's the only way the kid can stay. You understand what I'm saying? So
Okay.
other than that, yeah, you gotta go
How
home.
sweet. What is your favorite movie and why? Oh, that was kind of hard, but I do like Diary of a Mad Black Woman.
Okay.
Because in that movie, I just like the way they said he wouldn't put me out of my house. He would put on half of the house.
Right.
So yeah, Medea really brought that thing to light. I just
No,
wished
when she cut it, everything in half.
I just wished that movie was going on when I went through my divorce with my children's father, because it definitely
and it would have inspired you to cut everything in half.
probably would have. Yeah, the absolute.
That's a bad spirit.
No, that's not a bad
You know
spirit.
what? Sometimes
She's
it's
talking
good.
about
You know
her
what?
favorite movie, y'all.
Sometimes it's good to just let them have it all.
This
It
is
is.
true,
I
but
bet
he
you
which
would.
he
I
pretty
bet
much
you.
God
did.
got for you,
'Cause-
baby. It's coming, so just
But-
be patient, all right?
Yeah, but see, I helped build that $90,000
I understand
business.
that with this butt
Yeah.
word, woman. Listen to what I'm telling you.
Right. If you did it once, you could do
So
it
Listen to what I'm
again.
telling you. You're going to build another one. So just
A-
let it
Absolutely, I'm gonna build another one. But he asked me what my favorite movie was, so it was everything in that movie was funny, including how she had, Medea had to straighten some people out. But what I really loved about the movie was she learned how to be on her own, and then she met the love of her life, and she learned and she understood what real love was.
Try
about.
love again. Right.
She
No,
tried
that-
love again and found out what
Right.
She allowed herself to love again.
to
Yep.
love.
And
And that's the
again.
ultimate problem
But
that
he
men
showed that.
and women have.
Right.
Sometimes you can show it and they still don't see it until it's gone.
That
So-
part.
She
You
was
at the end of
she
the-
was fortunate that it wasn't
But
gone
see,
because
think
at
about
first
it. She was getting ready to go back.
right.
But reality came to facts. Why go backwards if I can continue moving forward?
And she was scared.
Yeah, and she was scared. That's the reality.
Yeah,
That's why
that
a
was
lot
the
of
main
people like to
thing,
go
that
back
she
'cause
was
they
scared.
But sometimes you have to let it all go, so you can be the woman and or man that you are called to be.
It was just so hilarious how
And
she
love, so
she
yeah.
had the calculator, and adding everything up. It just good medicine, a good dose of medicine.
Yeah, that's a good movie. I like that
Something about the name.
Okay, so my questions, I don't really have an answer for either one of them really.
movie.
But one of them was if you could go visit any country, where would you go and why? And then the other one is, what is the most ridiculous excuse you've ever used to get out of doing something? I don't know if it's ridiculous. I don't know if it's ridiculous. I just say I don't want to do it. Or when I was younger, I probably
wouldn't say nothing. You just don't do it.
That's right. That's why I say it's just hard to answer.
That's the
I was
ridiculous
like,
excuse
I
right there. But
I don't want to do
so
it.
why you didn't do it?
I ain't want to. So that's why I say some people might say it's ridiculous, but for
I
me
ain't
it's
want
just
to.
like I ain't want to. I don't want to do it.
But why you didn't want to?
Because I didn't want to. But maybe, yeah, I would just say I just didn't want to. But when I was younger, like when I didn't want to go to work or something, I'd probably say I had a flat tire or something,
The normal.
Right, yeah.
everybody
But
excuse.
ridiculous, I just don't want to. And some people will say, why? A country I would want to go to, I don't know. Like I have said I want to go to New Zealand, but not enough to, and that's not a country, but not enough to make any moves. That's not a country. New Zealand?
It's cold up there.
Cold up there.
No, is that a country or is that a look it up. Look it up. Is that a country or a continent or what is
She
it?
said a continent.
It said I don't know, not a continent, but what is it? Shit, I don't know. But there is no country that I've wanted to go to enough to go. You know what I'm saying? I like the United States because I don't want to go nowhere and get stuck and can't get back. If that sounds crazy.
Yes, it is.
It is a country.
It's a
Okay, look at that.
Because I said
well,
that's
it would be New.
I said that's one of the countries I wanted to go to.
You said Norway.
Netherlands, New Zealand.
I ain't hear him. Did y'all hear him say New Zealand?
It's an island.
It's an island.
Right. Okay. An island where?
Sweden.
And
I'll
the
go to Togo.
So that's not a country then. It's an
That's
island.
It's beautiful.
Like I
Is it?
said. So
it technically
I would
still is.
choose New. What country is that in? What country is New Zealand in?
What continent or what
Country.
Oh, it's its own country.
You just said it's an island. Which is
No. It says it's a country. It is an island nation
An island
located in the southern western Pacific Ocean.
Okay. Well, I guess New Zealand.
Whatever.
But maybe we'll see. But not enough to go yet. So, anyway, I want to say I had some other things, but we'll go over it later because I sent y'all something about what is 50-50 in a relationship. Y'all's thoughts on 50-50 in a relationship, so we can pick that up next week. Look. And
We talked about it.
Thomas asked us a question. He said, do y'all believe in ancestral veneration? You know how people talk to their ancestors and spend time with ancestors. So that was a question, and my answer is yes. We've had this
Yes.
conversation before,
Yes.
but we'll have it on here. And think about, is there a such thing as 50-50 in a relationship for next week? So if I forget, I don't think I will, but y'all remind me.
No.
Again, thank y'all again. We'll be back next week.
No.
Hopefully I'll see some of y'all out here on Saturday at Southern Style Lounge and Bistro for adult game night. Otherwise, we'll be back next Thursday. Thank y'all, everybody. Any final words? We'll do these again next week. Any final words? Final words, y'all.
Stay safe.
Keep the faith.
Stay positive.
Stay
Keep the-
positive.
Stay positive. Yeah.
Keep the faith.
Yeah.
Jordan?
Join us next week on the next episode of
Oh.
Just
Pr1ma.
All right, that's practice. All right, photo shoot. Almost every week I try to. Sometimes we be slipping.
Yep, you be
Thank y'all. Well, it depends on who's DJing and who we got here. And next week we'll be able to see that tattoo that you got. What you got? What you got? We did. Hi, this is Pr1ma with Candid CoEd Conversations with me, just Pr1ma. Tune in every Thursday night from 8:30ish to 10ish to see what we have going on. We talk about everything under the sun. Nothing is off limits. And call in 678-661-1819 with questions, comments, and feedback. Looking forward to it. Thanks. Y'all, I did that in a half a second. Didn't I, Red? So you can do it, Jordan. You can do it. You can do it. All right, y'all. Spit your time. I played at the end because they was trying to cut me off.
Big red in these. This. Sorry, not sorry. I wasn't gonna say nothing, but it's on me heavy. I promise it's getting ridiculous after this drop. Do not jump to no conclusions. I don't need these folks in my mentions. No, I'm too solid. Gonna keep it a brick. I ain't going back and forth cause I said what I said. I'm clearing the air cause I feel it's my place. I gotta jump on the coke folk head. Y'all come to the city, get a feel for this out. And I wanna go home. I know you love what it taste like. But it ain't too far. We had to live up in these trenches. Y'all went back to the birds when they got up on them late nights. Look, we really ran through these streets. We ain't never get a break. So we speaking on Atlanta. I don't play right. But I'ma get right to the subject. Ain't gonna beat around the bush. Answer this if you say you from the A, right? Where's I know you from? What hood did you live? Where hospital bed where you born? Look, I know it sound crazy, but I'm a A baby. I gotta start pulling for card. We had to live in this zoo where you don't make it out, so I don't give a what they say. Look, if you ain't grow up in APS system, you is not from the A. And you from Gwinnett, rep that. Pep try to step back, talking about you from the outskirts, could've killed that. Rep where you from and don't rep where you home. No Air Force claim around the world, know they felt that. Earned out my scratch and I